So one question I get asked all the time is, how did I start the Film Factory? Well, the Film Factory is made up of me, Joey Viso, and Nimi Hendrix. So the story goes, me and Joe Viso, we've been friends for about, I want to say 5 years now. We were introduced through my cousin Mikey, his mom, my Aunt Donna. So here's how it went. My Aunt Donna, my cousin Mikey's mom, she introduced me and Viso at a basketball game for her son Tyler. So we were at the basketball game, we were in the bleachers. It was super organic. My Aunt Donna is like, hey, Joey Viso, you gotta get over here. Like, this is my nephew, Ryan. Hey, Ryan, Joey does some video work. I know you have the bands with Mikey. You guys have to work together so you can create something really cool. So from that moment, every time Viso and I were at a basketball game, baseball game in the bleachers, we would start chopping it up on what we're doing, what we have next, how we could help each other. So first and foremost, he did a video for Toy Machine, or at the time, Blue Lizard. So my band at the time, he came through to a show, he did a highlight video for us, and it was awesome. Through that, we started developing a nice business relationship to where the next thing was, we started doing music videos. So right when we started doing music videos, Viso is the first person that we reached out to so that we could get it done and do it in a timely manner. So from that moment, we did a release party at my band's rehearsal studio in Clifton. Now this studio is a 500 square foot room. We packed 80 people into the room. So it was very tight. Now I remember being in that room and just looking and saying, we need a bigger space. This is absolutely crazy. So from then, Viso and I, this was now right when COVID had hit in 2020. We started looking around at different warehouses, different places that were up for sale. We were in Carlstadt, we were in Moonachie, we were over in Jersey City, North Bergen. We went to every place that had a for sale sign or a for rent sign. In that process, we kind of developed exactly what the Film Factory would come to be through seeing different spaces and seeing what we liked and what we didn't like. We had eventually found what would become the Film Factory location. It was exactly what we were looking for, and we knew it right when we walked in the door. So Viso actually found the factory on Facebook Marketplace at, I think, 2 a.m. He had contacted the seller or had contacted the renter, and we had set up an appointment to go the next day. Now I had band practice that next day and I was not present on the first meeting, but Viso had gone and he was sold immediately. He called me right away. He's like, I'm coming to the band practice. We're gonna talk about it. We gotta sign this lease. We gotta get it done. This is exactly what we're looking for. So he came, we talked. The next day, we went right back to the studio. We signed the lease right away, which not the smartest decision in the world, but we'll get to that in other videos. But it was a decision that needed to be had. It was that jump that we needed to take to get to the next level. So we signed the lease, we got the keys, and the Film Factory was born. From that moment, there has been so much to learn and also so much learned. Like, we had no idea what was gonna go into actually operating the studio. We had an idea because we were already doing video. I'm already in a band. I kind of understand events. I understand what it takes to get into a production, but there is way, way more than that. But again, we will get into that on future videos. This is just the beginning of the story and how we got into it. When we did finally get into the space, we saw the potential right away and we started renting it right away. So it was just an empty factory with a garage that you could pull cars in. So right away we put out onto the market that we were available for video shoots. We made the rate $100 per hour. Now our rate is $150, but we started with our rate at $100 per hour. And I think we got a client within our first week. So in that first week, we literally put up a black curtain where the psych wall is now, just so people had some kind of backdrop to work with. Now, with movie magic, you could kind of create anything as long as you have a big space. So people are coming in and doing their photo shoots. Toy Machine actually did a single cover in here and we shot it by Greg Alders. We had all of our friends pull up. We did the single cover And then we also had some music videos pulled through, which they even brought in cars to just the concrete floor to shoot in. So we, right at that moment, saw that the potential was huge. I then got in contact with my cousin Sean, who came in to help build the psych wall and help build the 4 set rooms. Originally, we weren't going to do the 4 set rooms, but we knew that we wanted to do something in that area. We just weren't sure 100%. Now, through trials and tribulations of building the psych wall and having to get permits passed and having to get through violations that were on the building that we didn't know about. Now, this is also something I will discuss in the future. We then said, okay, psych wall is on hold right now. We know we're gonna get that done. We know we have the open space there. Let's get these 4 set rooms done. We saw the posts that were already originally in the building, and we said, we're putting up walls. We're gonna make them removable. We're going to make them accessible to create anything that you want to create. So it's just a blank canvas for creatives to come in and do what they please. So with that being said, we did create the rooms to be different colors. We had put a ceiling on one of the rooms so you could hang different things for a set design. We kept other rooms without a ceiling so that you could have the space to put the lights above, put a spotlight. And then we even had an idea where we were going to put a door in between the middle of 2 rooms and have one of the rooms be a green screen room so that you could just walk in to a different world. So there's really a lot of things that you can create with a space. And this is something that I'm going to continue to tell and teach people, because we literally took nothing and made something from it. And like they say, if you build it, they shall come. The first day that we made the psych wall and painted the floor and had it completely done, A Boogie called that day and we had a music video shoot with A Boogie. And the next thing you know, we have Bobby Shmurda in the place. Then it's Jim Jones. Then it's Dusty Locane. And then we had Little TJ pull up. We had Joel Santana pull up. Just from creating a space for people to have a blank canvas and create whatever they may please. Now, that is one thing that we are very adamant about, is to allow the creative to create what they desire. That's why we do sometimes keep it such a blank, empty canvas so that people can decide what they want to do and we don't put any preconceived notions into their face. Now, we do some more, elaborate set designs at times as well. We'll do a insane asylum room or a confinement room that you can, have like the padded room and do something where you're in a straitjacket. And we also have created a cloud room. Now we have a cloud room 2.0 where it's like 3D clouds hanging down, a turf on the ground, so that it creates just a different vibe, more of like a Tyler the Creator type vibe. And we really want to now get into a more elaborate set design so that people have not only the blank canvas, but they also have something that is just plug and play. Now, through all of this and having the studio, there has been really so much to learn, and just so much that I have learned through the process of just even having to stock the bathroom, to make sure we have the right amount of garbage cans, make sure that we're paying the light bills, making sure that everything's on auto pay so you don't forget and get late fees, having, the correct bank statements, doing the tax forms, making sure that everything is written off, contacting the town, getting permits, getting anything that is necessary for the business to actually succeed. And I think a lot of people think it's a very plug and play situation where it's like, oh yeah, if you have some camera equipment and you have the space and you have the Connect, yeah, of course it's gonna work. There is a lot more that goes into it. And I think it's something now that, being at it for about 2 years, I can now teach more people how to operate and how to get it done correctly. With that being said, this channel is going to be discussing the Film Factory. It's going to be discussing my band Toy Machine and how I run events, how I can put together events, how we record, what our recording process is. also having the loft space and a second location of the Film Factory. It's a converted apartment space into a film photo studio that is also accessed as an Airbnb. So there's even more things that I could talk about and what I've learned as far as the Airbnb app. And then I'm also going to be talking about my own separate ventures, which I call 15% off the top, which is something where I'm a middleman and a connector of musicians, photographers, videographers, businessmen, places that do screen printing, magicians, comedians, really anything possible and anything that I can connect and make sure that both parties are happy. I also will be going over how I balance my work life and my personal life with my personal relationships and my family relationships, because that is something that I'm very adamant about having and creating a healthy, happy lifestyle that is harmonious. So stay tuned. This channel is going to be a mixture of a lot of different things, but what it really is going to teach is a balanced lifestyle and how to create a harmonious lifestyle between business, personal, and just your mental health in general. Shout out to Rob Deerdeck, shout out to David Meltzer, and thank you to NJ Garden State of Mind for sponsoring this video. We appreciate you. We have different paint and puffs coming up very soon, and they're gonna be at the Film Factory Loft. So stay tuned.